There was a time when flying meant elegance, when airlines were symbols of national pride, and when one name stood above the rest: TWA. Trans-World Airlines didn't just fly passengers, it helped invent the modern airline industry. It introduced the jet age to America, only to vanish completely by 2001. This is the story of how TWA rose higher than almost any airline in history, and why it couldn't survive the world it helped create. TWA's story began in 1925 as Transcontinental and Western Air, a merger of small airlines created to move mail across the United States. At the time, crossing America took days by train. TWA helped shrink the country. By the 1930s, TWA was one of the big four U.S. airlines, alongside Pan Am, United, and American. But its future would be defined by one man. In 1939, billionaire industrialist Howard Hughes took control of TWA. Hughes was eccentric, secretive, and obsessed with aviation. He pushed TWA to the cutting edge, personally funding the Lockheed Constellation, one of the most advanced aircraft of its time. The result was revolutionary. TWA offered faster flights, longer range, and unmatched comfort. It became the airline of movie stars, business elites, and international travelers. By the 1950s, TWA was flying Americans across the Atlantic and doing it in style. But Hughes's control came at a cost. TWA was an early adopter of jet aircraft, introducing the Boeing 707 and competing head-to-head with Pan Am on international routes. But behind the scenes, trouble was building. Hughes became increasingly reclusive, refusing to approve new aircraft orders or strategic decisions. As competitors modernized fleets and expanded aggressively, TWA stalled. By the 1960s, the airline that once led aviation innovation was falling behind. Eventually, Hughes was forced out, but the damage was done. The turning point came in 1978, when the U.S. airline industry was deregulated. Airlines could now compete freely on routes and pricing. For efficient carriers, deregulation created opportunity. For TWA, it exposed deep weaknesses. The airline carried heavy debt, aging aircraft, and high operating costs. In the 1980s, corporate raider Carl Icahn took control. He sold assets, including prized international routes, to pay down debt, but weakened the airline's long-term competitiveness. TWA survived, but barely. The 1990s were brutal. TWA suffered multiple bankruptcies, declining service, and rising competition from newer, leaner airlines. Then came July 17, 1996. TWA Flight 800 exploded shortly after takeoff from New York, killing all 230 people on board. While later investigations ruled out terrorism, the tragedy devastated public confidence and the airline's finances. TWA never fully recovered. In 2001, TWA was acquired by American Airlines. The name disappeared, the brand was retired, and one of aviation's greatest pioneers quietly came to an end. TWA helped build the jet age. It made global air travel possible for millions. But innovation alone wasn't enough. In aviation, as in business, leading the future doesn't guarantee surviving it.